Bad news, boys. We're already stuck. Yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and clock on out. We got another 2-truck order. One of the trucks is gonna take the shaft wall and a little bit of dense glass, maybe sprinkle some steel on there. But the other truck's gonna take a majority of the steel, so we're gonna head out to the steel yard. Get to dabble in the snow a little bit. I got it to about 40 degrees yesterday, so a lot of the snow melted and turned into slush, and then it froze last night, so now it's just frozen slush everywhere. With the amount of steel going to this job, we're gonna be able to ship out a lot of bunks, full bunks of steel, but we'll have to build a couple of them, so we have that working for us. Bad news, boys. We're already stuck. Yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and clock on out. All right, well, I managed to unstick myself, and I got our staging rack moved out of the way so that way I can actually stage on it. All right, so we need 14 bundles of the 10-inch track, or 140 pieces. Nice and easy. All right, we got our 14 bundles of our 3 5/8 10-foot track. I'm gonna leave them right here at the end of the staging rack. And I'm stuck again. Fuck! I'm gonna bust this bunk open. We gotta grab 24 bundles for a total of 240 pieces of the studs. And I'm pretty sure I'm stuck again. The fun thing about this is nothing's fun about this. All right, that's good news. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick this up, slide it to my forks, and then I'm gonna get stuck and all this steel's gonna fall over. So let's do that. So good news is I did not get over, but now the idea is to take this bunk and combine it with this one using the staging rack. It takes a little finesse, but it saves a lot on the back and having to take the time to hand stack all the steel. And like that, we have a full bunk. These 20 I'm gonna put with another broken bunk of steel. And then this one we're just gonna band up. 360 pieces with 3 5/8 is a full bunk. So that's why I'm gonna put those 20 pieces with another bunk. And there's one bunk of steel. I would just need 7 more bunks. I did get word that we were waiting on a steel truck to show up so we can get some of the pre-bunk material. That's on that order. Now for 300 pieces of the 2.5-inch 10-foot studs, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8, 16, 24 plus 6 in the front makes 30. We'll scoop those up, and then we need 60 of the 2.5-inch track. Not bad, all things considered. Granted, I'm in a war zone. I'm gonna drop these 6 bundles down here at the bottom so that way we have a nice even square bunk. Throw some bands on it. That'll be bunk number 3. All right. Now we're grabbing the 6-inch slotted track. We need 30 of them. And I've already thrown those 20 pieces of 3 5/8 track that were sitting right here on that bunk. So now that we have our 30-inch track mixed with our 3 5/8 track, I'm gonna cut some wood to fill in these voids so that way we can make it a square bunk, throw some bands on it. That'll be bunk number 4. We got our legs and our runners cut. We got our void filler cut. You got to be careful though when you're doing this, because if you cut some of these boards a little too long or a little too short, just because you're throwing metal bands on it and you're squeezing the hell out of it, you still could have a couple bunks in here that slide around like this. So it's important that you cut the legs a little shorter than the overall width of the bunk of steel, so that way when you throw this band on here, it grabs this top piece on both sides and it squeezes it together. Yeah, see how these still kind of want to move? Now it's because there's probably some ice in there, but when I get to situations like this, what I like to do, make sure it's straight, is once I get this side banded up, you can kind of see there's a little bow right there. So that's probably why there isn't as much tension in these middle pieces. So after I get these ones tied up, I'll throw another band in the middle without any sticks, so that way it squeezes just all the metal together. All right, that wraps that bunk up. Now we got a little bit of long steel we can gather. So we got one more bunk we can set up, and I'm still waiting on that steel truck to show up with the rest of the material for this order. Sorry about that. And last but not least, while we wait for the steel truck, 30 pieces, 16 gauge studs. These got transferred in from another one of our facilities, so I'm just gonna throw a band on both sides of these, and then we play the hurry up and wait game. Hey, our steel truck finally decided to join us. Well, we got the steel truck unloaded, but unfortunately it didn't have all of the steel on it that we needed. So we're gonna finish building the rest of it, and when the rest of that steel comes in, probably Friday, we'll be able to ship the rest of it out. But for now, we're just gonna finish setting up this order so that way we can get that all loaded up onto the truck for tomorrow first trip. I already grabbed the remaining amount of 6-inch studs, so we just need 60 more of these 6-inch 16-foot studs to finish out the 780 total pieces we need. Throw a band on this. And that pretty much finishes up the order, aside from the steel that we're missing. So we'll take this inside with the other steel and start loading up the trucks. We got the Moffett in here. We're gonna slap these 16 footers on both sides. Since there's 7 lifts and the bottom 6 on both sides are even, I'm just gonna center that top lift. Just like so. And now for the boom part of that order. Now for the steel. side. And passenger side. Ooh, I'm gonna push that bunk up a little bit. And that is both boom truck and Moffett loaded. 2-truck steel loader. Took about three and a half hours to build. All in all, not bad. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little bit. If you guys are enjoying my content, please smash that like button, subscribe, follow. Be sure to check out my other social media. You can get those links down in the description or the link in my bio. I appreciate you guys. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.